Hey guys, it's Asher from The Technique here, and today I'll be reviewing the microphone that I'm actually using right now to record this video, mainly because it's the only microphone that I'll have that will work with this camera, which is the Takstar SGC-598. Now this microphone set me back around $30 on eBay. You can get it for around a similar price on Amazon. And like I said, I'm recording with this microphone right now, and I've had no complaints about the audio quality from a $30 microphone. Now this microphone is a shotgun microphone, and what that means is it's very directional. So if I go like that, but then around the side here I do the same thing, it's not going to be as loud. Because this is just a $30 microphone, it won't be a huge difference, but you can imagine in video studios and stuff, having a huge shotgun microphone, people can be talking behind the camera and it won't even pick it up. Now another option that you can have for video cameras or DSLRs is something called a Lavalier microphone. And you may have seen this, it's a microphone that clips onto your shirt around here. But I chose to go with the shotgun microphone because if I am recording multiple people, then I'll have to get multiple microphones. So it's just easier getting a shotgun microphone. So to give you a bit of a comparison, this is the inbuilt microphone that is on my DSLR camera. And yes, my DSLR camera is an entry-level camera, but the audio quality on most DSLRs will sound kind of like this, even on high-end cameras, such as the Canon 5D. If you do mount a shotgun microphone on the top of your camera, what you will find is if you do have a noisy autofocus, and you have it on continuous autofocus, so it's constantly changing focus when you're moving, then what you'll find is if I move in and out while I'm staying silent, you can clearly hear the motor in the background, and that isn't good if you're trying to record audio as well. So what I would recommend, and this is actually better than mounting it on top of the camera, is to actually have it on a microphone stand off to the side and have it pointing down. So in this review, what I'll be doing is I'll be assessing the build quality, the sound quality, which is what you already heard before, and then I'll be comparing it to this microphone here, which is what I use for most of my voiceovers. But recently I haven't been using it that much because on my new computer there is a slight problem with the preamp, I think. So I have been borrowing my brother's microphone, which if I just take off of his headphones, is this clip-on microphone, which I actually did a review on. You can check out the card in that corner, I don't know which corner it is in. So as for the build quality, the shell of the microphone is plastic, but the actual microphone itself is made from metal. And coming from this price point, that's pretty good. Now you'll see that there's a coiled cable here. Unfortunately it does not detach, so you can't put on a super long cable if you are attaching it to a microphone. And if it does break, then you'll have to either solder it back on or buy an entire new microphone. But the coiled part of the cable does mean that if it does have to reach a slightly longer length, you can stretch it down to that. But I wouldn't recommend putting it like that for long periods of time because it may permanently stretch the cable. You'll also find it has an inbuilt shock mount. Now this may not be the best shock mount. If you've noticed, the rubber bands are a bit stiff, and generally what they have on most of the Rode shotgun microphones, the Lavalier system, is a lot better. And it means that you don't have to replace the rubber bands. But I'm happy with the shock mount personally, and if you don't like it, what you can do is you can actually unscrew the shock mount and then attach any other shock mount, which is like what I have with here. The microphone will just fit inside it, which is what I had to do a couple times because I didn't have the correct adapter. Now you'll notice on the microphone there are 3 switches. One is obviously the on and off switch, but that is because it actually has a battery inside it. Now if you're saying, what if it runs out of batteries really fast? I've had this microphone for nearly a year. I got it for a Christmas present, and the batteries never run out, and I use this microphone maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, for maybe half an hour to an hour at a time. So I don't think the battery is going to run out anytime soon, unless you accidentally leave the microphone on. Which raises me to another point. 2 things you can either do is you can either forget to turn the microphone on and start recording, and then look at the playback and then get really angry because you worked out that you didn't turn the microphone on. Or the second thing you can do is forget to turn it off. And what that means is you put it back in its case, and then the next week when you try and pull it out and you turn it on, you work out that the battery's flat. So that's one annoying thing about having an internally powered microphone. But this means it doesn't actually use the power from the camera itself. Now the other switch is a 10 decibel boost. This is good for a camera such as this one, that the preamp in it really isn't that great. So if I give it a louder signal to go into it, then on the camera I can turn down the input volume, and then there might be a slight buzz if I stay silent for a second here. But you generally can't hear it that much. And the last one is a low pass filter. Now, I've done many tests with this on and off, and I really can't find much of a difference. But I'm sure there is a small difference, and it may vary in between what you're doing. So right now you're listening to the microphone with the the low pass and the 10 decibel boost on, which is what I've always had it on. And now I'm going to switch them off. But now you're listening to the microphone with both the low pass filter and the 10 decibel boost off. Now comment below if you think that with the 10 decibel boost off that there is a larger amount of buzz. So that's what's on the microphone and what the build quality is like. But now we're going to compare it to my voiceover microphone and my brother's clip-on microphone, which is the Antline Mod Mic 4. This is a 20-year-old microphone that I use for my voiceovers called the Beyerdynamic M81, and the reason it's so old is because this is actually my grandpa's old microphone, but in order for it to actually work, I have to have it plugged into this mixing board thing. This is a test of the Antline Mod Mic 4.0. It's a great budget microphone. So that concludes this review. If you did like it, remember to drop a like, and if you're looking for another cheap portable microphone that doesn't have a battery inside it, there's a microphone called the Rode Video Micro, and I'll have a link to that down below. That's one microphone that when I get it, I'll definitely do a review on it and compare it to this microphone.